All right, we've been traveling for about, I have no idea, 30 hours to get to where we're at today. We're finally in the room the night before the hunt, just getting all of our gear together. We're here in New Zealand, getting ready to go on an elk hunt. We're gonna be in the backcountry for about 10 days or up to 10 days, all of our stuff on our back. So I'm just at this last moment, just kind of getting everything together on how we're gonna make this work. Couple of things that we're bringing, I'll just kind of tell you why I'm bringing them. Everybody has their different ways of packing their gear and the different ways of preparing for hunts and trips. Just kind of showing you what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it, okay? So I'm bringing the 3800 Rockman pack, which is gonna be my day pack. I'm gonna run that with me everywhere I go. I'll actually hook that onto the pack frame, and every time I leave camp, that'll be my setup. That way my gear is gonna stay dry. I mean, where we're at here in New Zealand, they measure the rainfall by the meters. So having our waterproof gear is gonna be essential. This is gonna be a great test and a great, great applicable use of all this product. Oh no. So I got this one. I'm actually going to use our 5,000, our base camp 5,000 pack as well, just for the pack in. We've got a good distance we have to go in, and we're going to set up a camp. And that camp, we're going to potentially move it about every 2 or 3 days, depending on the hunting and the areas that we're in. So I want to have that camp set up where I can just kind of keep all my stuff inside. I can leave it outside my tent. When it's raining, it doesn't matter. It's going to keep my stuff dry, give me some better space inside the tent. So I'm going to take that combination today. I'm going to show you guys how they stack. Obviously Rockman's stackable and adaptable and 100% dry, so you'll see how they stack and we put them all together. A couple other things that I'm really excited about taking this trip. I'm going to run these crispy boots. They're lightweight, they're non-insulated, but the thing I love about these ones is they've got the stiffest sole. They're rated a 5 on the stiffness level with crispy boots, and I'm going to use that because the terrain that we're actually walking in is going to be extremely steep. And so having that stiff sole is going to make it so much easier to go up and down the side of these steep mountains. So I specifically got those boots for this trip. Another thing, when you're talking about things being steep, I learned this well, not the hard way. I had some people in Alaska when I went on our mountain goat hunt this last year talk about you have to have your trekking pole. So I used them for the very first time, and they're an absolute game changer when you're walking up through this steep terrain. So I'm bringing some trekking poles. So with the stiff boots, the trekking poles, I'm hoping that can help me, handle the terrain and be able to make the most of every scenario that I'm in. We got a few other cool things that we're bringing. We're going to try out some boot dryers. We've got these boot dryers that I've never used before, but where it rains as much as it does, and I'm only going to take one pair of boots in here, we got these portable boot dryers that you can just hook up to a power bank. So I'm excited to give these a shot and see how they work. There's a few other things, peak refuels and the food that we take. Excited about. They haven't been using these over here in New Zealand too much, but I'm going to come use this over here. This is this all-in system. There's going to be a lot of glassing, a lot of sitting around glassing, so I'm really stoked about having this all-in system set up. They were able to get us some stuff for this hunt specifically, and get Christy, who you're going to see a lot of in this trip. They got him a bunch of gear, set up on his spotters so that we can have the ability to both be glassing at the same time. Been working with Cryptek. Butch over at Cryptek has been great, and so is Kylie, who's kind of helped us out with getting geared up for this trip. I'm going to be using Cryptek Camo this trip, and their rain gear. It's the first time I've used their rain gear. I'm super excited about it. I put it on. It's long. It fits me. The coat's going to be good. I just tried it all on. It's great. It's got their altitude camo, which where we're going to be at is really green and lush. I mean, it's a rainforest pretty much where we're going to be. So having this type of camo, I think, is going to be perfect for where we're at. I'm actually going to be using the crispy gaiters with my boots this time. And then, just a couple things. It's going to get really cold at night and probably up to about 60 degrees during the day, but it could hit freezing at night. So I brought a 0-degree sleeping bag. Might have been overkill, but my sleeping bag is packed down small enough that I felt like it was worth me bringing. So I brought a 0-degree sleeping bag, and we brought a teepee. We're not actually going to be sleeping in the teepee that we brought. We have a couple individual tents, but there's a couple days in the forecast where it looks like it's going to rain really hard for an entire day or a day or two, and so we wanted to make sure we had a spot where we could either go in on a rainy day instead of all sitting in our individual tents and just kind of sit up, stand up, move around, and a place where we can hang some stuff out to dry. So we brought that teepee. I don't even plan on setting it up until we have those rainy days, just as a place to kind of keep our stuff and keep it dry. Maybe it's extra weight, maybe it's a bad choice, but we're going to do it this trip and see how it goes. So something I always like to bring, and this actually started last year when I came here to New Zealand, but my good friend Christy told me that there's a chance we're going to be crossing some water last time I came. So he said, you gotta bring some Crocs. They're lightweight. You can throw them on your pack, kick them into 4-wheel drive when you got to go ahead and cross the water, keep them on your feet. And so I brought these, and they've just kind of evolved into just being a camp shoe, honestly, and a travel shoe. So I travel here in them. My girls took the liberty of making sure they decorated them really good for me. So now it's just kind of become a travel tradition for me to have my Crocs. Gives me something to remember the family back at home with, and just something to wear around camp, so you're not having to take your boots off and on all the time. You can just slip these on real quick when you got to step out and pee at night or whatever it is you got to do, and just nice camp shoes. They're a must. You got to have some lightweight camp shoes. So one of the things, we're going to be in the backcountry for 10 days, right? And so we use our phones, or I have a Garmin, my InReach, and we have a couple things that have some power. So I always try to bring a couple power banks with me. And I know that when you travel with power banks, you need to keep them in your carry-on because you're not allowed to have those kind of things underneath the plane. Well, they made me check my carry-on on the very last leg of all of our flights from Auckland down here to Dunedin. And when they did, I didn't think to go pull my power banks out. So then I get this nice, lovely letter saying that we have removed 3 power banks from your pack. So the night before, we're getting ready to go up into the mountains, and I realized as I opened up my pack, I got no power banks. So I'm going to keep things on airplane mode or shut off unless I absolutely need them. We'll see what happens. We're going on a boat ride in the morning, and so I'm actually going to layer up first thing in the morning. So I'll take like a sweatshirt and a jacket to go over top of it. I've got my clothes that I'm going to wear, my gaiters and my boots. So I'm going to set that all aside because that's not actually going to get packed. That'll stuff I'll be wearing in the morning. The Crocs I'll strap onto the side, and then my day pack, I'm just going to have it set up with the stuff I know I'm going to need once I get there. I went to go stick my spot and scope in the spot and scope department, and I forgot about the most important thing. You always got to have toilet paper, and it's always a good recommendation to have a couple wet wipes. It just makes life a little nicer when you're on the mountain. You look for any luxuries you can, and that's one of them for me, for sure. Yeah, so my sidekicks, I like to have stuff in them for the main reason when I'm traveling, especially international travels, but when I'm traveling, there's certain things that you can't carry and you're putting your carry-on, and like your power banks. Yeah, well, you can have those in your carry-on. You just can't have like your kill kits, your knives, your first aid kits. I've got like suture kits and scissors and first aid kits, and I got my kill kits with my knives and everything. So I keep those in my sidekicks, and I put them on my checked luggage underneath the plane. And then when I get to where I'm going, I can just pull them out, and I just literally hook them right on the side of either the pack, and in this situation, it's gonna be the side of the pack frame, so that I just have it already ready to go. It's loaded up, and so I don't have to think about unpacking or packing stuff inside my pack. I can just grab those, strap them on the outside, and they're ready to go. And then when it's time to travel home, I don't have to worry about having accidentally left knives or bullets or things inside my pack for when I'm getting on the plane. I'm a Nalgene bottle guy. I always like to take 2 of them. I take a big one. I like to keep this one around camp for water, for cooking, and just, you know, when I have to go to the, you know, fill it up at the creek or whatever, it just lasts a lot longer. And then I always take a small one, and this is normally the one I carry with me when I'm hiking around. And one of the fun tricks I have with this, I love to do at night when it's really, really cold, I'll fill this up with water and I'll actually boil it because Nalgene's won't melt. And I have hot boiling water in this, and I throw it in the bottom of my sleeping bag, wrap my feet around it, keep my toes warm at night. Just a cool little trick to keep you, just an extra comfort you can have when you're out in the miserable environments. I'm actually being convinced not to take that by my man Christy. I took it last time we went here in New Zealand. I used it once. The rest of the trip, never used the water bladder again. The water's just fresh coming out of the streams, and it was great water. It rained so much that it's just filtered so much up here. So I probably won't end up bringing that one on this trip so I can save some space and weight.
61.
61 pounds. So somehow, when all that weight I cut...
I just feel like you haven't even put all your food in.
That's his food.
It's your food now. It's your food now.
So 61 pounds, what's that in kilos?
Divided by
30.
2.2. So it's about 27, 28 kilos.
That's still not too bad.
It's actually right. I've heard people carrying heavier in here. So I think you're all good, lad. And you're 7 foot and strong, so you'll be all good.
Oh, I can save some weight off this right here, real quick. It's not necessary.
60. It is 72 pound.
No,
No,
hold on.
75 pound. 75 on the dot.
No way.
75 on the dot.
I added an extra tent, so I'm carrying 2 tents.
You'll need these.
You may want to shed that second pair of pants and that you had in there.
Yeah, I have 1 pair of pants. I did bring an extra pair of underwear. I have 3 pairs of underwear and the ones I got on, but
Take them, please.
that's worth having.
Well, you'll use your walking pole so they come out. That's £1 less.
Yeah, 1 pound might be down to 7.
The spot and scope and tripod for that's in there.
Yeah.
2 tents. That's what's really getting me is the extra tent.
Yeah.
And last time we waited, I don't think I in the
You
binos.
didn't have the tent and the binos on, no.
I had the binos, the tent, the shoes, and I need to add more food still.
10 days right there. 10
10
different
days.
bags.
Right here. 10 different bags. 1 for each day. And this is some breakfasts.
What all
I
goes
only-
into
I
one
only
of your-
took 4 breakfasts.
What all goes into one bag, one day?
So I generally take. I'm pretty boring. I generally take some mashed potato. As protein, I take some jerky. I take majority of lollies and some coffee and a nut bar, muesli bar, and that's about it. Simple as. And that does me, and hopefully we get some fresh meat.
Brandon's shook. He doesn't know what to do. His pack weighs 75 pounds and he's still got food to pack. And I just weighed that, and then we got 10 more pounds of snacks that we could throw in.
I hope I've got everything geared up good enough. We put a lot of time thinking about this trip, and it's basically the terrain is going to be really similar to mountain goat and sheep hunting where we're at, where these elk live. And so it's a whole different environment to be hunting elk in. But I'm really, really excited for what we got ahead of us tomorrow.
There's so much more to die. Will fate decide who has to go? Oh, oh. We both know pain, but we deal it too. But who's dealt more? Well, I leave that up